Hi, it's me, Rasheed Ogunlaru, coach, speaker and author of Soul Trader, putting the heart back into your business. Welcome to this latest mini webinar. I'm calling it a mini webinar because of the time of the year that we're at. It's spring. I'm recording this at the beginning of March. And March is a time which is notorious for being a time of not only spring cleaning at people's homes, but it's a time where in business people are reflecting. It's the end of the old financial year and it's when budgets are set or finalised for the new year ahead. And so, excuse me, it's a really, really good time for us to stop and for us to reflect and to stock take in terms of your business. So today's mini webinar is about spring cleaning and stock taking. So I've got my stock taking flip chart here. I think the first thing is really spring clean. There's a few things I want to just bring to your attention and just invite you to consider to do. Is now the time for clearing the decks, clearing the office, clearing the space. That's my suggestion for you. So taking that time that you need just to sort things out, to clear things out in the office. So step one, have a spring clean at home and then have a spring clean in the office. And for some of you I know, home is the office. So take that time that you need to spring clean the home. Sometimes people feel that they're too busy, they've got lots going on. And of course you may well have lots going on, and of course you could always fill that time. But there's something about the fact that if you're really struggling to find things, or if you're overwhelmed by clutter, that actually you're also paying a cost for that. You might be paying a cost for that energetically, you might be paying that a cost emotionally, you might be paying a cost for that because of the time it takes you to find things. So that time that you actually take to clear things up may well be a really significant investment. So you've got to be very mindful when it comes to your business about those things that you spend time on and spotting the things that don't just have a short-term, that may have a short-term cost, but they have a bigger long-term payoff. So that's the first thing, really have a spring clean at home and in the office. Just a couple of things I want to bring to your attention about that spring clean. I'm a big fan of clearing your desk, the works areas that you work from. I'm a big fan of then also clearing up the desktop in terms of your computer, your laptop, or your phones and so on. Often have so much stuff now, may have so much stuff. So really clear things through. I'm often horrified to see how many emails people have. So make sure that your emails are kind of systemized, that you've got them in relevant folders. But from time to time, just clear out those emails. And I think the beauty of times like this time of the year, especially coming up to the end of this first quarter, is a perfect time to clear that. So actually, if you can get into the habit of that quarterly basis, that might well help you. And in the creativity section of the Soul Trader book, there's lots and lots of tips there that will kind of help you with that. So that's the first thing, spring clean. So just to be clear, have a clear out at home, then have a clear out in your home office or wherever it is that you work. If you actually have physical office, clear that up, clear the space, clear the decks, clear up the computer, systemize things, organize things, put things into clear systems, and make sure you've got the apt filing that you need. It can be a really, really good time just to get everything neatly filed. Perhaps that you're a new stage of business, so you need to reclassify and things and papers. You need to sort things out into new files. That time could be really, really well spent. So that's the thing about the spring clean bit. Just one last element of this that I think is really, really important, and it's something just to flag up. What are the things that could be systemized, and what are the things that you can have clear processes to? There might be lots of things that you already have systems to, but when we talk about systemizing, we talk about things that you do regularly, or the things that you're doing often, and it's about having a process for those things that will save you time. So let's say you get particular types of inquiries from people, from customers. Do you have a process from that? Do you have a form letter that you can just top and tail, just tweak slightly? Think about what are all the things that you do and the processes that you have or that you don't have for those particular things. A tip here is if you begin to spot that there's lots of stuff that needs to be done, then you might think, actually, I need to put some time in the diary to address this as a piece of work, to write a set of processes for my entire business, or to write a set of processes for X or Y. It can be really useful, especially if your business is growing, to sit down and write those particular processes. I'm involved in a local organisation, and actually one of the things that they're beginning to need to look at is thinking, actually, hang on a minute, have we got everything written down? Have we got processes for everything? I think if you're a business that is growing, that can be particularly useful, but also it can be useful very early on in your business or as things are beginning to take shape. So really think about what needs to be systemised, what needs to be organised, what things do you need procedures for, and it may well be that you're in a particular field. I can think of a friend of mine who's setting up a business in a particular area where actually there's all sorts of rules and regulations about things that need to be very much organised and processes for, because in order to show compliance. So give that some thought. So that's the thing about really spring cleaning, and it leads us nicely into kind of taking stock. And just a couple of things I want to invite you to do here. I think the first thing that I want to say is that maybe it's good for us to take stock of your own life before we do any taking stock in terms of business. And it's quite good I've got the exercise ball there, because when I saw it in short, I thought I want that as a quick kind of reminder to talk about that life balance side of things too. So before we take stock of stuff in terms of the business now, I'm going to invite you to just take stock of stuff in terms of your life. Where are you at? What's working for you? What's hurting? What are the challenges? What are the things that are coming up? So I'm just going to pause there, and it might be that you might want to pause this video so you've got some time, and I'm going to ask you those questions again. So in terms of your own home life, what's working for you? Write it down. What's hurting? What you're struggling with? What are the things you need to prioritise? And what are the things that are up and coming that you're going to need to address? It might be things in terms of friendships, in terms of family, in terms of loved ones, in terms of things that are going on in your home. I was coaching somebody just the other day, and there's a lot of stuff going on. He's a manager in a business, and he's having to he's moving home, so that's going to involve a lot of time, a lot of moving things, shifting things, organising things, financial factors in terms of that, as well as logistic kind of factors. But what are the things that are going on for you in your life? I think the beauty of this thing about taking stock, this stock take, is that sometimes it just brings to our consciousness those things that, because we're just so busy rushing, that we haven't had time to consider. So that's your home, your life stock take. Now let's quickly do that stock take in terms of your business. Again, I've got my flip chart here. So again, I'm just going to invite you to write this down. I'm a big fan of getting people to write things down when I'm coaching them, and I'm involved in a local organisation, and I go to meetings and I notice who's actually writing things down. It's great if you've got good memory, or it doesn't need to be in an old-fashioned pen or paper, it could be in your phone or what have you, but I think that sometimes to write things down or to record them is really, really useful, because then you've got that note, you can see it in front of you, you can reflect on it. And I think that this ties in with the thing about how organised you are. How do you organise yourself? Do you have clear notes? Do you have clear files? Is that one of the things that you need to sort and systemize? But okay, now in terms of business, so what is working? Overall, what's working well? And it might help in terms of, focusing in on certain areas. But overall, I think what can be quite interesting here is just to see what strikes you. What is working? You might think, oh yeah, got this particular piece of client work, that's going well. What's working is my website's working, this is working. You might think, okay, what's not working so well as the financial side, or this or that, or particular problems with this project, or these things that I don't seem to be getting through the door, getting the opportunities on. What's working? What's working well? What are the areas that aren't working so well? Again, let's just have this list. What are the problem areas? Write those things down. and be honest with yourself. I think that's really great. So we've got this list. I think based on this list, what I'm going to invite you to do is just glance your eye down that list, and maybe could you just highlight or tick 2 or 3 things that you think are absolutely crucial and they need to be prioritised. You might think, okay, profit level needs to really to be looked at. It might be that there's some particular challenges and particular projects or things that need to be put in place, areas that you're struggling, what have you. Or it might well be that there's opportunities that you see based on the list before. So just make a note of that. And I think that leads us into then the third phase of our spring clean and stock take, and that is focus. Focus is such an important element, and focus is really an element of clarity, which is chapter 1 in the Sole Trader book. And I think just in terms of simplicity, because I'm mindful that there can be so much going on in business, I'm going to invite you to perhaps focus on one thing in terms of that as a goal for finance, one thing as a goal in terms of marketing, and one thing as a goal in terms of your management and operations. If you've got the capacity to do more, then that's fine. But I think that's the thing in terms of making progress. It can be good to be really laser sharp and focused. So finance, perhaps set one goal. You might think, actually, you know what? My goal is between now and the end of the year, I want to aim to raise, increase the level of profit by £10,000, $10,000, or whatever it might well be. That's a clear goal. That then you can then zoom in and you can begin to think about how, but that clear goal. Okay, I want to set up a pension pot and putting X amount of money in there. A clear, specific goal. And by the way, now the same thing in terms of your marketing. Marketing one might, ironically, sometimes it can be a little bit more challenging because I guess the marketing is going to be the mainstay of the things that you're doing to bring business in. But if you can, I want you to think about, well, what's that one marketing goal? It might be that you, based on what you looked at before, you might think, actually, you know what? This is the main bits of my work that's working. I want to bring in more of this work. I'll give you an example of what I mean. I remember many years ago when I was looking at my business and I was doing a bit of a stock take like this for one of the first times. And I was beginning to look at the different products that I provided, different services, if you like, and beginning to think about, well, what did each of those cost me? So I was thinking about my one-to-one coaching, I was thinking about some of the workshops, different workshops and so on I ran, and I was looking at the cost for me of running them, and I was looking at the yield, and I was looking at how much effort that they took. So it might be from your reflection of what's working and what's not, you begin to get some very clear information, thinking, actually, you know what, this is the one area that I should be focusing on in terms of my marketing. And there might be other external factors where you think, actually, this is where the marketplace is going. I'm running this florist business, but actually now there's far more interest, there's lots of people who are buying flowers for X, Y, and Z. I really need to focus on that. So I'm going to focus on increasing the income on that by X amount. And here's how I'm going to do it. There you have your focus marketing goal. So what is that one marketing goal for you? Again, pause this if you need to. And now finally, I want you to set one last goal for your operations, for your management. What is that goal? What's that one thing that will make a really big difference for you? Is it automating something? I've told this story many times, but I think one of the things that really made a huge breakthrough in my business many, many years ago now was that when I got some help to automise and get the electronic payment systems and booking systems for my workshops. I was doing it all by hand many years ago, and it just took up so much time. What's that goal in terms of management? It actually might be a course or a program that you're wanting to go on to learn some particular management skills. As with a client I was just working with just yesterday. What's your management goal? It might well be about coming up with and developing the systems or the handbook of how you go about the business and of running your business. It might be that. So Well done. Let's just quickly take a moment just to reflect on what we talked about. So in our spring clean and stock take talk, what we first of all talked about was the spring clean, having a spring clean at home, recycle, throw things out, give things away. More stuff you can recycle, give things away and so on, the better. Just clear that space and don't rush to fill that space. Similarly with wherever your working space is, sort, systemize, clear. Computers, desktops, emails, sort, clear, prune, organize, systemize. Think about files and where you store things to. So there might be a literal thing for this for you in terms of that stock taken in the storeroom and so on. Some of those things might need to be cleared out. And it might be you need to schedule in time to allow for this piece of work. So realise it is an investment and it's going to probably save you time, especially with some of the systemizing things. And then we talked about stock taking, what's working, what's not, writing all that down, highlighting the things that you need to prioritise, perhaps the things that will have the biggest benefit for you financially, practically, strategically, in terms of winning new business. And then finally this thing about focus, setting one goal for your finance, one goal for your marketing, one goal for your management and operations. So there you have it. That's our spring clean and our stock take. I want to thank you very, very much for tuning in to this mini webinar, and I will see you again very, 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 very soon. And remember, if you need more help and support, there's a lot of stuff in the Soul Trader book that will help you to do this. The creativity section is the one which is probably closest to this, but the whole book from clarity onward will really help you with this kind of process. And especially if you're looking at some of the marketing things, then some of the middle chapters will help you. Remember that there's my regular podcasts as well, and all sorts of other tips here on soultrader.biz. So thank you so much for tuning in. Take care. Good luck with your spring clean. See you soon. Bye-bye.